Victims of Nigerian fraudsters have spent thousands of dollars on their online lovers without ever setting eyes on them. Most people treated them stupid and blaming them for sending such huge sum of money without ever meeting them in person. First of all, what I would like to say is that these people are victims and not to be blamed, because to my opinion, spiritually, they have been hypnotized by these guys to believe whatever they say. These fraudsters, who are commonly known in Africa as Yahoo Yahoo boys, are mostly found in Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire. They get themselves sucked into voodoo before talking to any victim. So when they get to your inbox and your spirit is so weak, you become receptive. There are two kinds of people who are easily trapped by this voodoo spirit. One, those who are in a state of excitement. Two, those who are in a state of depression. Meaning, if these fraudsters, also known as the Yahoo Yahoo boys, get to your inbox and you respond to them while you are in an excitement mood for whatsoever reason, at that time, your spirit will be easily captured and you will obey everything they say. Same as when you are depressed. So the solution to not ever get trapped in such embarrassing situation is not to respond to any strange profile. Seek advice from loved ones before taking any action. If you have loved or learned from this video after watching, do not forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel, Fidelia Smiles, and follow my Facebook page, Girl Smiles. Like, share, and comment. Thanks. Video extract from Dr. Phil's show.
Does that make common sense?
No. Sometimes this whole thing doesn't make common sense to me.
Do any of you think a decent man would allow a woman to do that?
You're gonna make me cry.
Well, I would rather you cry than keep sending that son of a bitch money. Terry says Daryl claims he's the only one with keys to Ricardo's condo, but we found someone else who also has a key. Here's what she had to say.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Wilcoxon. I am the real estate agent here at 1211 Caroline Street. I am helping the sellers right now sell this property. The home has been on the market for 11 days. What I do know is that Daryl or Ricardo are not the owners of this property, nor have they ever been, and they have not accepted any offers under that name.
She's standing in the unit that's supposedly your condo. That's the address, that's the unit number, and it's owned by somebody, not Ricardo, not the CEO, and she's saying it's on the market, not being sold by either of them, not being bought by either of them, and that's the unit, that's the address, the unit that supposedly is your next place to live.
Terry does not hang out with any friends. She does not have any money to do anything because she gives it all away, and she sits at home and waits for the call from Ricardo. She's very lonely.
I'm alone a lot. All of my family and friends believe that Ricardo is a scammer and not real. It hurts my feelings a lot. My sister tells me all she wants is me to be happy. Well, what if, in order for me to be happy, it's to be with him?
We looked into every single email, invoice, phone number, and photo that Terry's provided us, and every single trace of Ricardo Clay, and it led us to this man right here. There he is. That's your guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your guy. But his name is not Ricardo Clay. His name is James.
His name is what?
James. He confirmed to us that he is the man in the photos that Ricardo is sending Terry. But he is not the man that Terry has been talking to or sending money to for the past 2 years. He was gracious enough to send us a video message.
Hey, Dr. Phil. My name is James, and I'm an artist living in California. I'm not in Canada. And I know that my images are often used for romance scams and are taken mostly from my social media. I've never spoken to Terry. I don't know Terry. I'm really sorry that this is happening to her. I've been dealing with this for over 10 years now. People taking my images and creating fake profiles and accounts just to scam people. I hope that this video can show that I am the person in the photos, but I am not the person that Terry's been talking to and sending money to. I hope that this video can help.
Now, that's James. And
I'm heartbroken, but I'm done.
we got in touch with a former scammer who now works with Social Catfish, an online dating investigation service who has the tools to help people verify someone's identification. Here's what he shared with us.
I did these scams for about 5 years. I just try to find these women on dating sites like Tinder, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and so on and so forth. I work on countless of women, more than 50. I drafted my own manual. When you meet a woman for the first time, you have to ask some questions. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? You need to have a great sense of humor, you know. You need to be funny. You tell her she's beautiful. You send her some pictures. I give a lot of attention to anyone I'm talking to. If I want to scam a woman, I look for those that are big, fat, big women. Most of them are single, you know, they're not married. They believe no one loves them. So when I start talking to them, I will show them that I care for them. I really want to come home to you. I love you, stuff like that. So it's an easy target. I used to tell them that I'm outside the country, you know, I'm back home in the next 1 year. I did steal people's pictures. I used to. I just go on his Instagram page. I take down his pictures and I use it to set up a fake profile. In the first 2 weeks, I started talking to them. I would tell them I love them. It takes me 4 days for me to ask someone I'm talking to for money. The most money I made was in 2021, and that was over $30,000. Very, very big money. Very big. I felt guilty at some point when I was scamming.
See, there's a science to it. And we see it in this manual that's 40 pages, and it starts out research. And he starts out by saying, I have a list of my clients here, and I keep their name, and then I have all of these facts beside their name. They're interested in dogs, are they interested in gardening, their children's names, their nicknames, because they're working 40 or 50 files at a time. And so they don't want to get confused with all of that. I want to look at an email to Terry that supposedly came from Stephen, a Dr. Phil producer. I have no producer named Stephen. Date 11/16/22 to Terry from Dr. Phil producer Stephen. Hi Terry, this is Stephen from an associate producer from the Dr. Phil show. Too many ands in there. I'm contacting to ask if you are still interested in appearing on Dr. Phil's show. Send a reply below. Thanks. That's
He's
not
calling.
from us. That's him?
Yep.
Yeah, let's talk to him.
Hi, baby. What? Was I trying to call you? I might have hit it by accident.
Ricardo? Is this Ricardo? Hello? Yeah, this is Dr. Phil. I'm here with Terry. And I've been talking to her about you and telling her that you are a scumbag scammer.
But he didn't answer that.
Conversation kind of dried up right when I said that. Here he is again. Hello? Ricardo? Yeah. Yeah, think he's very chatty right now?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, let's just put him out of your life.
I'm going to do that right now.
Years ago, we met Ralph. Now, he met a woman named Louise on an online dating site, and despite never meeting her or even speaking to her, I get this, he didn't meet her, he didn't even speak to her. They just fell in love texting. And he believed they were in love. Now, Ralph sent Louise $154,300 to get her back home from Berlin, Germany. I think a ticket's about $3,000, but he sent her a little more than that, where she claims she was stuck while supervising a new construction for a government shopping mall. But even that amount, well, it just wasn't enough.
I've been in a relationship with Louise for about 10 months. We met on a dating site. She had all the traits that I was looking for in a girlfriend. Louise is supervisor for a construction company that's building a shopping mall for the German government. She is real and our love is true.
You've never actually met her in person.
It's all been either text or emails.
Why haven't you talked to her on the phone?
I've tried. It runs to voicemail.
She's never even left you a message.
No.
So she could sound like me for all you know.
He's been drained of most of his retirement money.
Ralph has given this woman $130,000 to $160,000.
What are the excuses for not showing up? She actually got to the airport and they stopped her.
That's what she said, yes.
Right. Said, you've overstayed your business visa. Well, wouldn't they then want her to leave? This was an intimate picture that was shared with you. It was a nude photo, right?
Yes.
This is this woman's face photoshopped onto a nude body and sent to
identical.
you. You could stick my face on there. The woman in the pictures. She is also a victim in all this. Her photos were stolen from her social media without her knowledge. So, Ralph, let me ask you straight up. Do you or do you not believe that you are being scammed?
I'm convinced that I've been scammed, yes.
Do you have any doubt whatsoever?
No, I don't have any doubt.
Well, we checked in with Ralph, and he says he's proud to say he hasn't sent another penny to Louise or any other scammer since we last spoke. Ralph, I'm happy to hear that you've made those changes and are living your life in the real world now. We wish you and your family nothing but the best. Look, we're out of time for today, but I want to thank all of my guests, and special thanks to Chris at Social Catfish. As we learned today, it's really important to check all the facts when communicating with someone online, especially if you're asked to send money.
My boyfriend, Craig, is very handsome. It took me about 2 to 3 months, and I was completely in love with him and giving him money to get his inheritance. I sold my living room furniture. I do miss my furniture, especially when I have company and there's really no place for anybody to sit right now. He just asked me last night for $2,500 more.
Francis, send her money. I said, Francis, you're crazy.
You believe Fran's getting conned?
Yes, definitely.
You believe this is a catfish, somebody's scamming her?
I said, Fran, you're being scammed.
We were able to find the man in the Craig photos. So let me be very clear. You're seeing your Craig, right?
Yes, it is.
And let me tell you, he has absolutely nothing to do with this whatsoever.
I am the man in the photos, but I have not been speaking with you at all.
I'm sorry.
Do you have any doubts whatsoever?
It tells me I'm deleting everything and moving on with my life best I can. After the show, I did meet a guy just a few weeks after I got home that contacted me on social media. I asked who it was, and he said, it's Chris. Well, you knew me as Craig.
I don't know how he manipulated her again, but he did.
Wasn't long that he wanted money. I sent him a total of $1,000.
I said, Francis, you've got to be kidding me. You did not send that man money again.
I am ashamed to face Dr. Phil. He told me that he wanted to be honest with me and tell me who he really was.
As opposed to before when he told you he was white, then black, and Craig, then now Chris.
He told me that he lived in London and he needed a visa and $3,000 to get the visa, and that's when I deleted him and said no, absolutely not. I've got someone else I'm talking to. His name is Daniel.
Francis, you do know that Daniel is another scammer, correct?
Faye, I'm sorry, I just totally disagree.
Now, Fran, you need to get off the internet.
Amen.
So you need to unplug. Unplug for 90 days and give yourself a chance to meet somebody in the real world. Okay? Well, Fran, it's been over a year since I last saw you, and you promised me you'd get off the internet, unplug, and start living in the real world and find a real partner. So it's good to see you. How have you been?
It's good to see you, Dr. Phil, and I have been great.
So
I did get off the internet for 90 days like I promised you.
Okay. Have you heard from Chris or Daniel since we last spoke?
I have not heard from Daniel. I, however, have heard from Chris. He calls me with different numbers, texts me, actually, doesn't call.
Yeah.
He texts me with different numbers, but I took your advice, and I tell him to go to hell every time.
Okay.
And I
All
block him
right.
and delete him.
And now that you truly get it and you look back on that phase, what do you think about that? Does that seem like another person, or does it seem like how do you look at that?
I look at it totally different. I also used Doctor on Demand that you offered me,
Right.
and that helped me considerably. I have started a whole new life. I also go dancing 3 to 4 nights a week. I have met real men who treat me with utmost dignity. I haven't settled down to no one certain man, but I do date real men, and I do have a good time dancing now, Dr. Phil.
Oh my God, I've created a monster. You still have the living room furniture that we bought you, correct?
Yes, that's what I'm sitting on talking to you right now.
Okay. Yeah, you sell that and I'm going to be real man.
Well, I don't blame you. I would be too.
Okay. Well, no, I'm just so glad to hear it all. Well, look, thank you so much for checking in with us, and thanks for being Fran's best friend, because that's what you need to do, is treat yourself like a best friend.
It feels good. It really does. I mean, I cannot say enough how much you have helped me, and Doctor on Demand helped me a great deal also that you offered me, and my whole life has changed. I'm a totally different person.
Well, that's what we like to hear.